Hello and welcome to another episode of Ladder Anxiety with me, Proxy. So today we're looking at a ZVT, which is on, again, this map, same as last week, which name entirely escapes me. I think it's like a star station. May be mistaken for that, but it's a big 4-player map, so it's quite nice and large, so you can get away with being a little bit more greedy because the rush distances are just so long. You know, with Terran you have to actually run stuff all the way over and see proxy buildings, which people sometimes do but not really that often. So I'm going to be quite greedy here with my hatchery and then getting more drones before I go to pool. So up here is Lavi on Team Rodney. Not quite sure. You'd normally have it the other way around. You'd have a sensible name for your name and then a strange team, but I don't have a team. I suppose I could make one, but I can't be bothered. Now I quite like this map because there is a lot of space in the middle. Obviously there's this kind of void in the centre here, but there's nice big attack paths. Not so much over here, but there's lots of space down by your potential. It's obviously natural. Come down here to a potential 4th, 5th. There's quite a lot of space in front, and then up here as well, and then you've got quite a lot of space in front of this 4th, 5th. So it's quite easy to kind of surround things as Zerg, which is quite fun because that's what you're trying to do. So Lavi here has gone gas then barracks, which is generally an indication of either factory or Reaper. Obviously to try and get that gas down. You can see me here. I've got my early hatch down. Normally I'd only get some drones up here, but I'm actually going to go up to 18 of 18 I think before I get my gas and pool, just to be that little bit more greedy. Just because I know the rush different distances are so long, and I do scout the correct way, which is some kind of miracle. So I know kind of what's coming, so I know there's not like any barracks positioned right next to my base because I can see it on his ramp there, so that's not so bad. So here's going Reaper and getting Orbital right after that, which is all fine and dandy. I've gone gas and pool to try and get Zergling speed quite quickly, and he's managed to scout my location. He did go the incorrect way at first, but that's not so much of a problem. I just kind of was trying to prevent him from putting down supply depot, but then I thought it's probably safer to try and get my drone back. So he's now going 2nd gas, and his 1st Reaper's out, and he's getting a 2nd Reaper behind, so that's rallied onto the 1st Reaper, which is quite clever, so that he gets it down. And he's going to try and put a bunker down. Unfortunately, this creep has started to extend, so that won't actually work there. But he's actually then going to have to be forced to put it in a better position, which is right behind the mineral line here, which is actually a much better place than where it was. But I've got the base down, I've got queens on the way, so I know it's not like a 2 racks push because I had scout up here and didn't see the 2nd racks. I suppose the 2nd racks could have been proxied, but that's not as likely. Usually either proxy both or neither. But I am taking this kind of ninja expand up in the top here just because the rush distance still to that top is quite a distance, and I have the fast units in this game, so I'm going to be quite happy with doing that. So he does get this bunker down, he does get a Reaper inside it, but I've got both queens down, I've got spine crawler. This Reaper here is picking up a couple of kills where I'm not really paying much attention. I do manage to get that one turned into a spine crawler, which does kind of help because he is attacking that, and then I do get the Zerglings out, so that's cleaned up quite nicely there. And I do get this bunker. Did I get it before it cancelled? Yes, I do get it before it's salvaged, really. And he does escape with that Reaper with 1 kill, so I lost about 4 drones plus these 2 spine crawlers. So there's 6 drones and a couple hundred minerals for the spines. But the spines were useful all game long because I can put them behind my mineral lines and they can hold off from drops. I do have this 3rd base, which is now finished, but I'm kind of accidentally rallying the drones down to this base. They got a long way to run. But I do take this one, do notice and pull that one back, so I think I set this rally point just up to this base, and I do get another queen on that one. So he did a bit of damage, wasn't that much, but it made me build lings when I wanted to be building drones. So he's got he went factory, he's going starport, so he might get some hellbat drops or some mine drops. Probably mine drops, seeing as he's getting those out. He's going tech lab on his barracks, and he has got this expansion going down the low ground, so he's now kind of turtling up. He's done his early damage, or as much as he could, so he's now turtling up. He's got pretty good saturation on the workers. He's now getting the second base, so his tech is quite heavily invested in. Obviously he's gone 1-1-1, whereas I'm kind of spending my money on more bases and more drones. I've got 6 Zerglings, so yeah, my army's a little bit smaller than his at this stage. Actually, it's bigger because he's just got the 2 Marines and that mine and that Reaper. So he's got another Marine, so it's probably considerably about the same size. I do have 3 bases, so yeah, I'm starting to push my creep out because I do know I've got a long way to cover to get up to this top base. So I'm really getting that down quite strong early on. So sacrifice a lava inject for it, but that's not so bad at this stage. So I've got two hatcheries up, and it's not terrible really. You get a good amount of lava just off the hatchery. So I did miss 1 lava inject on each hatch, but that's not so bad. So I'm just getting myself saturated. Kind of pretty much saturated on 2 bases. Starting to saturate this 3rd one. I'm a little bit supply blocked and just building up quite a lot of money there, but yeah, just spam the overlord button, that gets rid of a lot of money. So yeah, now taking my 3rd and 4th gas. I've already got the 2 in my main. Just building Lings really. I kind of just use Lings for almost the entirety of the game. They're fast enough to be able to protect me from whatever I'm needing to be protected from. But here's saturating his base. He's got, seems to be a little bit paranoid about run-bys because he has flown his buildings over to sit by his command centre for some reason and built this supply depot wall, but that's not so bad. So he's now on 2 barracks. He's got his starport with a reactor on and his factory with the reactor on. So yeah, we're getting medevacs out now. Stim +1 for the bio. So he's going to kind of go bio mine, which is good play. He's building 2 more barracks down the low ground here, that's going to be a nice kind of inject into his units. And I'm just running these Zerglings around. Actually, no, these are say running around. These are the ones rallied down from this top base. But yeah, my creep thread is getting out there quite quickly now. Just clearing up these watchtowers. Obviously, took out that Reaper and going to take out this Marine. He does get to see. Well, sorry, saw more there. Yeah, saw all of those Lings there. But so he's kind of quite protected from run-bys now because he does have these mines, which kind of could slip some around the edge, but that's not like a big pack, and they're not going to get through those bunkers if they are. So he's got a Viking now, so that's going overlord hunting, which is a really good thing to do. Just get 1 Viking because it forces either the overlords to retreat or some kind of response in terms of spores or some kind of push. This one is sitting right over this weird pulsating thing. It's probably making the whole station fly. But yes, so I'm going Spire now, so I'm going Ling Muta, but now I'm really rolling up on their tech, really getting the most out of these 3 bases. Obviously not getting the gas on these 2, but I do drop down spines now that I saw he's seen it with that. So I saw he's seen it. That's a brilliant sentence. I noticed this Viking come in, so I know that he's aware I have this base up the top, so I'm just putting down static defense, which is good because he's sending this drop in. So 6 Marines and a mine, so that's a good force to try and deal with. And I'm just sitting my Lings over on his side of the map, just because it's kind of easy to do counterattacks, which is kind of a bad idea, seeing as he's going heavy on the mines, but I'm not really aware of that at this point. So he does take out quite a lot of stuff at this base. The 3 spine crawlers are helping. I do transfuse that one, but there's still this mine here, so I can't transfer any workers back here until I deal with that. He does put a scan down. Where's that? So that's on that base. And right, so it's just checking I don't have a 4th and a 5th. He doesn't scan to see if I've got a 3rd here. Maybe he just assumes I've got it. What's his vision again? Yeah, so he's seeing the creep coming out that way. He's not seeing anything there, so he's probably assuming I'm taking that one, or maybe taking this one as a third. But he knows I've got that one up there, so just send this overseer up. Kill that. He does see the Mutalisk spawn. Whether he was watching was a different matter, but he does pull back this drop, so he might have seen. But so he's getting a big drops now. Two full medevacs. Yeah, it's quite a sizable drop. Marine Marauder, so it's going to really do a lot of damage to this base. But I'm now taking I suppose this is my fourth in the third location, because that's my third in another main. But I'm now going up to Infestation Pit. I'm finally getting upgrades. I kind of forgot those a bit, and I'm now re-droning to saturate this base up here. Get +1 air attack for my Mutalisks, just so they kind of just kill stuff that a little bit faster. So his army's smaller than mine. He is supply block, but he is building a couple of supply depots at a time. But he's getting 2-2. I have no upgrades, and 2-2 Marines. Yeah, they just eat through Zergling and Muta, especially with mine backing them up. It's chew through them, so it's actually quite a scary force. But I'm getting pathogen glands, so I can go Infestor, fungal growth them and really get a good surround with Zerglings. So he does lift up here, leaves that Marauder, does pick it back up. So he's lose some. He's trying to pick off that other Overlord. He does drop in the mineral line, which is really good to get some extra damage, but my mutas are here now, so he's going to lose everything. Do peel off some to take out that Viking and leave the rest chasing those medevacs, so they get dealt with nice and easy. And now I've got a good number of drones. I'm now getting drones down at this base. You can see it's 20 24 because that's kind of just made another wave, so kind of almost saturated on 4 bases. So I 70. I just made a couple of units, but 76 drones. It's a good number. Just made spines and spores, and my hive's nearly done, so I can now start to get those higher tier units. I'm now just getting +1/+1 when the hive finishes. Not ideal timing, I guess. I probably could have done it a lot earlier. I just forgot about upgrades. That's a thing that you can do. So he's now getting double tank out of these 2 factories. 7 Marines at a time, so he's now switching Marine tank, which is a very, very classic Terran versus Zerg style, and it's really very, very cost efficient for the Terran, just because the siege tanks sit at the back. If you can spread well, banelings don't do anything. I mean, I don't have banelings anyway, but if you can spread good, and you've got a good tank coverage and mine coverage, and banelings don't really hit you. So it's not so good. But resaturating up here, saturated down here. I could probably not have sent all of those up to the top. I do have my mutas chasing down these drops up here, so his drops are pretty much shut down. He's losing huge amounts. So he's got an extra 1,000 resources lost just because he keeps on losing those full medevacs of units. And there's a big engagement coming up here. I catch him on siege, and I just roll in with everything. And this is what I mean about well upgraded Marines. They're 2-2 Marines. My supply just disappears. All of these mutas just melt away. All the Zerglings melted away. I did take a good amount of his army out, but I lost so much more. I only escaped with that overseer. My entire army's gone. But I kind of use this as a way to kind of tech switch. It's not the ideal way to do it. Ideally, you do it without losing your entire army. But I'm now kind of going into Ling Infestor, and I'm also going to get swarmhosts as well. So he now scans. He just misses the infestors, so we can see there's some lings. He still knows this base up here, and he's posturing to take this out. A couple of siege tanks there, really going to be able to rain down the fire. And now my ramp is working against me. You can see him rallying over his marines. He did leave these widow mines buried from that earlier confrontation, which he could have picked up. But I know this base is pretty much done for. I could have tried to run the drones, but there's just so much burst damage that can come out with Stim Marines and those 2 tanks. So I suppose I could bury them maybe, but I don't have burrow, so in the end they just all die pretty much. So that was a bit of a waste. I could have probably done something a bit better with those, but Yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to move my army up here, getting Corruptors to line up with the Greater Spire to go a bit Infestor Broodlord, which is, you know, still a good unit composition. It's not good as it used to be with the Infestor nerf, but it's still pretty good. And what I'm quite happy with is my creep spread this game. It's, you know, it's been a lot better than it has been previously. I'm, you know, right over his side of the map and almost right up to this top base as well. So that enables my units, which are, you know, quite slow at this stage. You know, the Infestors are really quite slow, so they gain extra speed from creep. So it just helps me move around a lot better. So, you know, he's quite happy that he's now got this tied down. It's probably, you know, like the animation that creep getting on that tank. That's quite nice, because I suppose it maybe counts it as a building when it's in siege mode for that, but it's just quite nice nonetheless. So I'm respreading this creep up here now, but now I have a, you know, I'm getting adrenal glands and I haven't yet got 2-2 done. It's not an ideal set of timings by any stretch of the imagination, but he's getting this third base now. He's getting a planetary there, but his other bases are looking very, very empty at this stage. Doesn't have a lot left hanging around, but he's not comfortable taking any of these other bases. He's probably getting a bit more comfortable now. He's got this big army moving out into the middle of the field. But I do manage to snipe that tank with these locusts before they get taken out. So that was a really good, you know, snatch there. You know, it does do this kind of small drop on top of where he sees these to be, but he runs, you know, right into. He's dropped a mule. He must have meant to scan, but he accidentally dropped a mule on top, which. Little known fact, mules aren't good for seeing where units are. So he did lost a good deal of Marines, but he kind of does have this siege position, but it's a lot weaker now. And of course, I've got Broodlords, you know, making 3 more, filling up my supply on Lings. 2-2's about to be done. Should have got the ranged attack for the Locusts, but I'm getting the armor, so. Yeah, they still do a load of damage anyway, so it's not so much of a problem. But he is kind of starting to bleed out now, because, you know, his economy back home is quite a lot weaker than mine. You know, I'm still on. Well, that base is mined out. That one's nearly gone. So I'm on 2.5 bases, and he's losing to 3 units. You know, the swarm host and then the broodlings from the Ultralisks. Broodlords. Not sure why I said Ultralisk. Other high tier unit. But, you know, without all of his Marines for his anti-air, I can quite easily take this out. One thing I learned quite reasonably recently about Broodlords is you can kite with them. If you wait for the broodlings to charge up on the back like they are, tell them to attack, they'll fire both of them, then you can run them away until they're both charged up and then fire them again. And it's just the same amount of broodlings coming out as if they were sitting there firing, because, you know, they're a bit like carriers that they build them themselves over time. So you can actually kite with them, you know, just fire a salvo, then retreat, fire a salvo, then retreat, rather than having to sit. It just makes them a little bit more manoeuvrable. There's a small drop here which I clean up. I think I lost a couple of workers, but it's, you know, losing workers at this stage is just a way for me to get a bigger army. Cause, you know, I've got a good bank, got, you know, good map control. I'm taking this base here, so I'm moving my swarm host down to defend this. Now he's kind of moving out with pretty much everything he's got. You know, he's pretty much broke. You know, he's just got this third base. I haven't got a lot of workers there, and his army supply is quite a long way behind. I'm belatedly now getting 3-3, and he is taking out that poor overlord in the centre. What did he do to hurt you? But, you know, he's got a good position here. What with the mines, he does scan, he doesn't see anything, it just barely misses. All my army sitting inches away from the edge of that. I see him because obviously it's on creep. You know, I can take out the mines here quite easy. It's got overseers, I got fungals. So, yeah, let the 3 units take all the hits. You know, I'm not losing anything by that. You know, so this is kind of, yeah, it's kind of what it feels like to be Zerg. It's kind of just sending in wave after wave and just generally just grinding down your opponent. He does a big scan and sees everything, and then he just leaves. He just leaves straight away. he knows that he can't really deal with that. He knows I've still got bases up, and what can you do about that army without you're going to need to get a load of Vikings to deal with the Broodlords. 5 isn't that many because I still have 4 Corruptors, but I also have Fungal, which deal a huge amount of damage. I've got the Swarmhosts with the 3 Locusts, the Broodlings, so I've got a wall of free units I can hold him back with, and then I have the Zerglings to surround, I have the Fungals to pin down units. So he's kind of not in an entirely unwinnable situation, but it's kind of just because I've worn him down so much by kind of making him afraid to expand, just because I've got creep spread right up to this base. We had a big engagement up here which he barely won, and then has kind of attacked since but lost his army several times and not managed to stop me from expanding. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click the subscribe button you're seeing somewhere on the screen right now. If you'd like to give it a like, that's much appreciated, and also the weekly party button. Alright guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.